Now, InterAct is part of the Made Smarter innovation family. And Made Smarter innovation is all about encouraging innovation in the digital space and encouraging manufacturers to adopt digital to help them become more competitive, more resilient, more sustainable, and all these good things. Now, an awful lot of the funding for Made Smarter goes to developing technologies and getting technologies out there in use. But InterAct's a bit different because whilst we think that technology is very important, technology alone is not enough. And that's something that you'll hear Jan and I say all the time, that you also have to think about the people. And that's what InterAct focuses on. So InterAct is all about pulling out the kind of human insights about this digital revolution that we're part of. So InterAct kind of brings new voices to the table. So there are some manufacturing people, some engineers in the room, but there's also people from backgrounds of economics, business, psychology, history, political science, lots of different backgrounds. And I think the great thing about InterAct is it's bringing together people, asking them to interact, look at things in a new way, and come up with things that are actually going to make a difference. So that's what we're all about in InterAct. And today, the way we kind of structure our conference is in the morning, we've got lots of short speakers who kind of provoke conversation, give you some ideas, and then in the afternoon, we ask you to reflect on it, think about the important issues, and also think about what you can do, what all of us can do to make a difference. What are the takeaways that we're going to go do something differently? So that's how we're running today. So lots of stimulating conversation in the morning. In the afternoon, we kind of turn it back to you, and there's a bit of a workshop in the afternoon. So that's what to expect. Before we move to our first formal speaker, I'm actually going to ask Mel Knetsch from ESRC to just come and say a few words. Now, Mel, I kind of credit with being somebody who was very passionate about making sure that the people side, the social science side, was brought into Made Smarter innovation. And she's been a real catalyst for that. So, Mel, do you want to come to the stage and just say a few words? So, Mel.
Thanks very much. Wow, it's really exciting that this is the second InterAct conference. I can't believe, I was just checking, it's been almost 2 years of funding now for the program. So I'm Melanie Knetsch, Deputy Director of Innovation and Impact at the Economic and Social Research Council, which I'm happy to talk about my role that I do within that. But I'm also part of the team of the challenge team, along with Ben, Sharon, and other people who are here, working on the Made Smarter challenge. And I've been involved in this now for about 4 years, so pre-InterAct funding. And my colleagues, Bruce, I'm going to name them, Bruce, who should be over there, and Tash, who's just joined the team where she is. They're my colleagues in ESRC who are also part of the team if you want to go have a chat with them. With that lovely welcome and introduction, thank you. I just thought it'd be helpful to cast back a few years before we even funded InterAct, when we were developing the challenge of Made Smarter, where it became really clear, I think, as we were talking within Innovate and in EPSRC and ESRC, so that's the colleagues from the funding side that are working together around this area, that this was far more than just an R&D challenge. If you're going to really understand the manufacturing and how to support digital transformation and transformation in many ways, we had to really take a step back and look at it beyond, just our R&D within that. It was really clear that we needed to think about the businesses, the structures, the people, the management, the training, the skills that were involved within that, the supply chains, how they work, the networks, but also geopolitics and the situation that businesses find themselves in, the global context. But also along with government, because we also work with our government sponsor within this space and understanding the role that government has to bring in regulation. But also then the question about what role we have as a funder. What can we do that's different or innovative, and how can we help shape the program? So as we got planning and working together, it became really clear that taking a step back and taking perhaps a bit more of a systems or an ecosystems approach into understanding this was going to be really, really essential to making this challenge successful. Businesses that we spoke to just said, if you keep just investing in technology, that's actually not what's needed. The challenge is we're not able to use it properly, or we're not using it to the best, or we're not prepared for it, or we don't know which one to use, or we don't have the skills. So I'm really pleased that as part of this, we had a multi-sector, multidisciplinary, multi-funder approach. But what was also clear is we needed a new model for funding this from a social science side. The challenge that we had within ESRC is very much around how do we get our community engaged to understand the value that they bring into this space, and how do you help businesses become aware that social sciences even exist. Many years ago, under the Public Attitudes to Science Survey, we had an addendum asking the members of the public what they thought social science was, and my favorite answer was, well, it's talking about science in the pub because it's social. So, you know, bringing in the answers and awareness about this whole field of disciplines that actually look at some of the exact challenges that this ecosystem issue brings. So we needed to develop a new model. And as part of that, with absolute support from Challenge Director and from our government funder, is that we thought, well, we should have some research directors, and not just have something that was set as another, but they actually are part of our team in a way, that they're able to help give us the insights and challenge us and take us on the journey that we're on as well, along with the businesses and the researchers. So we thought, well, we needed some research directors, but they needed a clear mandate to undertake some evidence gathering and help us understand the context that we're in. But we also needed a support structure to bring together a new network, to bring people together who haven't worked together before, and bring this multi-sector approach with a really strong emphasis of the focus on sharing and learning, and, you know, the key word that we have to think about, impact. Hence the development of the InterAct Network Plus. It's been an absolute pleasure to see it develop over the last 2 years and see it grow and the community start to come together, and how you gain access to it. And what we've really learned, I would suggest appropriately with Ben, hopefully, is that this does take time to do it together. We need time to understand each other, and time to find each other, and time to understand our connections, our language, our cultures are very different. And do we even have access to each other, and where does that go? And I think most importantly, what I've learned to be able to building the capacity for is time for curiosity, and going where new directions take you, and not just preset what the expectations are from the start, and leave that room for innovation and creativity. So I think it's been a really exciting journey over the past 2 years, and thanks to Jan and Jill and the team, and also within colleagues within UKRI for helping us develop in this new way. It's also brought ESRC, EPSRC, and Innovate together, I think, in new ways, where we have time to think about the future and think about what next, and where the future, what other connections we have that we can bring together to help share the insights and the learnings that are going there. But of course, my role just isn't within the challenge. My role sits broadly within ESRC. So my mind goes to, well, how translatable is this model? Where else can we use it? Can we bring together other sectors? What are the other challenges that we need to go? And I guess my ask is from you today, as I'm looking forward to hearing from it, is how is the model working? What are you gaining from it? How should we adapt, and how should we innovate? What's effective, or what's not working? What can we learn from it? I'm really also looking forward to hearing the speakers for each of the sessions and the challenges that they're giving to help bring new insights and curiosity driven from us as funders as well, and for me personally. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for Jan and Jill for putting this on. And I know Ben will be speaking later on, so you can quiz him far more in depth about things that I've said. Thank you very much.